How long you think it was gonna take before we got here? Now you gotta prove yourself all over again. Come on.
Ain't nobody coming, I've been gunning from 100 yards, trying to hit my mark, missing every time. This will be the start of the picture perfect. Watch you.
Where does time go, Terry?
I don't know. It goes fast, and you know what? The older you get, the faster it goes.
Goes right out the window. I don't know. I heard a song like that. Time goes right out the window. Indeed, I think it's from Linkin Park. But yeah, it does. I mean, how amazingly fast the week goes by. It's almost like we live in the Matrix for sure, Terry.
That's right.
Just a memory. But I want to thank you and Charles for holding the fort down. You guys did a tremendous job. I'm not sure that anybody wants to be back after the work you guys did.
Oh no, they want you back. I saw that the viewers went down with you gone, so it's going to go right back.
I don't think that has anything to do with me. I think it was 4th of July holiday. Everybody's on break, enjoying themselves, Terry, that sort of thing, right?
Yeah,
no question about that. The fact of the matter is, Terry, it's all about picking winners. So let's see if indeed we can get some winners today, get our numbers up. But before we do that, last night on Horse Center with Sean and Julie, they had on Victor Carrasco, a fantastic young jockey doing great work. It was a great show. And of course, Terry, right here in the comment section, it wouldn't be a Horse Center without Terry inviting the guest to Golden Gate Fields.
that's correct.
When's he coming?
I don't know. None of them have said they're coming. They said they'd like to, but the only thing I'm worried about is they're going to think that I'm part of the officials there and I'm inviting them for real. So
yeah, well, we're shills for the business, Terry. So you've even granulated it even more. You're a shill for Golden Gate, but it's okay though.
That's right, and they give me all this money. I'll tell you that.
Oh yes, you're loaded. I'm sure that's why you're prime rib, Terry.
Yeah.
Tonight at 8:00, you can join Julie and Sean again this evening as they have another young jockey, Jay Edwards, coming in from Jamaica, trying to make his mark, coming from an island over to the U.S. I don't know about you, Terry, but I know chasing dreams is a great thing, but I think living on an island like Jamaica, boy, you have to be big dream to come off over into cold wintertime horse racing.
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
Yeah, indeed, for sure. All right, you can get that tonight on our show, Horse Center. Best way to make sure you don't miss anything, Terry, is to do what? And then we'll get to race number 1.
Well, you need to go to YouTube and subscribe to us, to our deal, and hit the little bell that gives you a notification anytime that we have any of our shows on. We have lots of shows, have 10, 12 shows a week. And then go to our social sites such as Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram at Horse Race, the number 2 day. And go ahead and give us a like and the thumbs up and let all of your people that know about it so they can come and see how good of a job that Rich does.
Just on a side note, man, I was watching some stuff. I don't know how I get distracted on nonsense sometimes called The Island Boys. I don't know if you're familiar with that. Probably not, Terry. I asked my kids and they weren't familiar with it. Mm-hmm. These kids are making $500,000 putting out viral, terrible videos. I don't think our videos are terrible. Certainly, we do try to provide some valuable information. Help us go viral so we can buy $500,000 cars and get face tattoos, Terry. I'll rap the music for that. I'll rap my picks for that. Any case, let's go ahead with race number 1. Terry, take us through what we're looking at for race number 1.
All right. I'll certainly do that. Race number 1 is 6 furlongs, maiden claiming 40,000, purse of 35,000. It's for maidens, 3-year-olds and upward.
Yes, indeed. And at 6 furlongs, the type of horse that typically wins what I call the profile of a winner. Has tactical speed, usually sitting second to third and somewhere around that mark at the quarter-mile marker. Although if you are on the front, 37% of the time, you could take them wire to wire. Post position-wise, 1 through 7 play fair. 8 and out do catch a little bit of a bonus. Terry, we like to, and I haven't done this yet for race number 1. Got this organized. A little bit of rust, I guess, after being off for a week. We also do some simulations, 1,000 simulations using speed figures to figure out what fair odds might be based upon how many times the horse won that 1,000 race. The lower, the better. We also do it for early speed to see which horse is going to be likely where at the quarter-mile marker, at their percent chance of having the lead, again, 1,000 races. And based upon the projected pace, which horse might get the best trip. The higher the number for C-Zone, the better. All of this information is only exclusively available here, which is why you want to tell your friends about us, why you want us to go viral so we can get face tattoos and buy $500,000 cars. Terry, what do you see?
Well, look at the speed there. The 7 and the 2 have almost identical speed numbers there with the 4 following up on it. And then as far as the overlays, you've got the 1 has a small overlay, supposed to be just under 5-1, 6-1 on the morning line. The 2 is about 5-2 on simulated odds, and it's 9-2 on the morning line. And that 5 horse is about 5-2 also. He's listed 6-1. As far as the C zones, the 1 and the 5 have the best C zone numbers.
Chris, you're from Jamaica, man. That's I mean, I don't know that I can tell. Like I said, I just got back from Clearwater Beach, man. If I had the money, dude, I would sit in a nice chair under an umbrella on that beach all day, every day, go in that warm salt water, and just relax, man. It's comforting for sure. Let's see who might get a comfortable trip, Terry, based upon our race shape. So here you see something interesting. The 1 horse is E. They want to be on the front. There's no question about that. That's where they do their best work. Everybody else back here is either a closer or horses that have not been competitive yet. The NC type, meaning they have not finished within 5 lengths in the leader in as many as their last 10 races, whatever available in terms of the number of races they've run. So if the 1 can get the lead, could be Loney, but according to recent early pace numbers, it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. That could go to the 4 or the 7. Late speed as they come around the stretch to see who will have the most late legs. That never close horse, the 6 horse. Lots of luck. Along with Texas Ted and Marvelous Moon Dance. They have a little bit more late speed than everybody else, although pretty competitive except for Smooth Motion. Total pace numbers, Terry, if you add them all up, you do find a very competitive race, for exception of maybe Smooth Motion. Otherwise, everybody else has got a chance there. Who do you think has the best chance with your picks?
Well, I'll tell you, I like the 3. Marvelous Moon Dance is my first choice. He ran second versus similar in his last race, has the highest last race speed rating, has a high percentage winning jockey, and his best start speed is fastest among today's starters. Now, they scratched my pick of the day, and so I changed to the 3 as my pick of the day. I like the 4 as my second choice. Smooth Motion ran second versus similar in his last race. He has a high percentage winning trainer. This trainer wins 26% of the races when taking a horse from a sprint to a route to a sprint, and he switches to a high percentage winning jockey. So they're trying everything they can to win this race. Then number 2 is my third pick. Drops in class today. It has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. Number 5, Texas Ted is my long shot. Switches to high percentage winning trainer who wins 26% of the races in maiden claiming races. And he also switches to a high percentage winning jockey. I'm going to play a $1 daily double, the 3 and 4 with the 3, 4, 6, and 8. And I'm going to bet 20 to win on the 3.
All right. So we have a $100 budget, hence the name of the show, $100 challenge. Christopher says he's going to take the 1 horse here. He loves that C zone. And definitely, I don't have the C zone horse in my top 4. Do have him in the back end of my trifecta for my first $6 wager for the day. You know, the 3 horse in here, Terry, I like the 3 horse as well. I'm a little bit concerned, though, because he's had 26 chances to win and hasn't scored yet. Although last time out was the first try at this level and just missed by a neck. So maybe the Chris Parmalu handicapping angle for maidens that finished second last out comes into play here. He says it's his favorite angle. Won a lot of money with that. Number 4, Smooth Motion. Paco rides on a horse that ran fractions at 1 mile and 70 yards last time out. That could win at this level. So they're cutting back in distance. We'll see if indeed a horse runs even faster today with less turf to travel. Kaiki. I have no idea how to pronounce that name. Anyway, it's making its 3rd race after a layoff. Better fractions last time out in race number 2. So you got to like that. And just shows some really nice mid-race improvement. And in these sprints, when you're coming out of that turn, sometimes catching that momentum can carry you to the finish line. And then finally, Texas Ted, track dropper coming in from Churchill Downs, Keeneland, and Oaklawn Park. Moving up in class, though, but with the track drop and the moving up in class, maybe they balance out. Has an okay Parx work. Would have liked to see a little bit faster numbers on the lone Parx work. But we have the 3-4, 2-5 for me, an exacta, a trifecta, 3-4, 2-3-4 over to 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Terry, I think they're loading in the gates for race number 1. So let's talk about what happens here.
All right. Sounds good to me.
Sounds good. Well, while we're waiting in here, maybe one of the things we can do is we could talk about a little bit later on tonight. Mountaineer Park is going to be a free track of the day at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. So all you have to do is link down in the description down below. Kindly use that one. When you're there, click on Mountaineer Park for free, and you'll see that big treat, the 2-1. Of course, right now, if he doesn't scratch, is the best bet of the day or one of 3 at Mountaineer Park. So we're just waiting for a couple to get in there. And then Jessica Paquette will take the folks who are watching the race on TV or on their favorite betting outlets through the race, and I'll do my best to try to keep everybody up to speed with what's happening. The 3-horse is your favorite at 9-5 right now, Terry, followed by the 4-horse, then the 2, and then the 5. So we've essentially, between you and me, we picked the favorites in order from the top to the bottom.
Yep.
Let's see, JT Brew joining us today. Everyone, Parx, race 5. Unfortunately, all the turf plays are off at Parx today, right? They moved to dirt, even though the track is fast. All right, let's talk about what's going on in race number 1, Mr. Terry.
All
And they're out of the gates with a pretty clean start. The 4-horse is the one that has taken to the lead. Smooth Motion getting out to a pretty aggressive start there. He's probably about a length ahead of everybody else. They're all kind of bunched up. You got the 1-horse on the rail with the, what is that, the 3-horse in between the 5. They're all trying to make up ground on Smooth Motion. 5-horse is starting to fade a little bit with the 6-horse, the 7-horse on the outside. Union Park trying to get involved into this race. They go through the opening quarter in symmetrical 22-2. 4-horse maintains its lead, Terry. Now the 3-horse has moved into clearly second place, trying to close that gap on the 4, but still a pretty easy effort so far out of the 4. 3-horse, the jockey is asking a little bit out of him already. So Michael Sanchez is trying to get the horse involved. Question is, does the 4 have more when he's asked? As the 3 has just ranged right on by that 4. Made easy work of it. The jockey's trying to figure out how to get the 4 to stabilize. The 5-horse now has decided it wants to get involved. And it's going to screw up my trifecta, of course, in here, Terry. Because he's going to end up finishing second, or he might just run by the 3rd. A little bit of crafty jockeyship by the 3-horse jockey on there, coming out a little bit to alter the 5's path. So it did go 3, 5, and 4. It looks to me like in the opener, Terry.
All right.
So Michael Sanchez, a little bit of old school, a little bit of old school jockeying, coming out a little bit. The question is the 5-horse going to say that he tried to interfere with him? Let's see. It looks like they're having a little bit of conversation between the two of them too. So
could be.
Well, all right, let's take a look. I didn't see for sure that the 4 finished 4th. I'm kind of surprised that the 4.
Yeah.
Never really got asked to do more. Like, I don't know. Did the jockey ever whip him?
That was a pretty fast first quarter, though.
Yeah, but I don't think the jockey ever really cracked him. There he goes, 1. Yeah. Just show him the whip. So, yeah, you got the 3 kind of veering out a little bit. Yeah, there's a lot of ground for people to make up to pass that 4. So I think I'm pretty sure the 4 finished 3rd, although the 1 is trying at the end.
Yeah.
And it's going to go 3, 5, 4, and 6, I think. 3, 4, 5, 6. That's your opener at Parx, Terry. So after the opener, what do we do next? Well, let's do this real quick.
Yeah, let's do it, because the 5 looked like the 5 got a pretty good head bob there.
Maybe. But let's talk about JT Brew. Good luck to you, JT, as well. If you have picks like JT, any thoughts, questions, comments, we appreciate. The more comments we get, it helps you with the YouTube algorithms. So anything, if you just want to say hi. We'd appreciate that. Parx race 5, JT likes the pick 5. And I know they have like $176,000 carryover, so I'd expect that number will go up. 2-4 over to 3-6-8, over the 1-2 over to 2-6-8, over to 5, 8, and 10. Mark that down, $54. Thank you, consultant. We appreciate that. What are you a consultant for? And then going forward here, we see at Indiana, because JT is a turf genius, the 4-horse, number 6, Layton. Indiana, number 1, Ball Gown. Race 6 to 13, Ricochet. Race 4 to 6. Are they both in race 4, JT? That horse right there? Systems
no,
Businesses?
I think he might be talking about, I don't know if he might be talking about
Turf Plays, race 4. That's at Parx today.
Yeah, they're off the turf.
Yeah, they're off the turf, though. I like that horse, too, but we'll get to that in a minute. Systems and Business. Okay, fantastic. Sounds like fun. All right, I'm sure you do a lot of good business. So you have the discretionary money to go ahead and try to make your gold coins, make more gold coins with horse racing, as they wrote in The Richest Man in Babylon. Quick read. Basically, the moral of the story is to earn interest. All right, Terry, let's see if we can be at all interested in race number 2. What are we going to do here?
Yeah, in race number 2, it's 6 furlongs, claiming race, $5,000 claiming race with a purse of $18,000. It's for fillies and mares 3 years old and upward, and which have not won a race since January 11th. So
Yes, I like how they put non-winners and one in a year, and it's been like 6 months.
yeah,
It's a different sort of calendar than I'm accustomed to, Terry.
that's true.
At 6 furlongs, you do have tactical speed, as we mentioned in race number 1, that holds in there, and that's exactly what the 3-horse did, right? Showed some tactical speed along with the 5. They were in mid-pack early and then closed out at the end. Although 37% of the time they go wire to wire, the 4 could not do that in race number 1 in the opener. Post positions 1 through 7 played fair. We see that today in the opener there, and then 8 and out get a little bit of a bonus. Terry, for race number 2, take us through all of the simulated information.
Well, the 2 has a lot of speed there, with the 6, 7, and 8 having a little bit also. And then as far as the overlay goes, the 3 has a pretty nice overlay. It's supposed to be about, I don't know, 3 to 5 or something like that. It listed at 5 to 2 on the morning line. Most of these horses have a C-zone number, except for maybe the 1 and the 5 don't have, and the 8 don't have too much of one. So there you go.
You know, sometimes, and I have to say, part of my handicapping journey has been the back half of your sentence. Write a book on how to avoid winners. Sometimes, you know, what doesn't work, if you can eliminate that, can start pointing you to more horses that do work. In fact, we're going to start doing some handicapping classes, courses, that sort of stuff, that will have more information out in the not so distant future on where you can join us to kind of pick our brains, learn a little bit about, or at least hear a little bit about some of the things that we've done, that we've learned along the way that have worked for us. In race number 2, what has worked for the horses in the past, as we look at their race shape, is for the 3 and the 6, they like to be pilots. The 2 and the 4, they like to be co-pilots. And then the 1, 5, 7, and 8, that group wants to come from coach and try to sneak into the front row and get themselves a on Frontier to Flight I Flow, where you get yourself a little more leg room instead of being in the very back row or in a row with the window where the shade doesn't work. So what's the point of having the window seat? Anyway, for early speed, Terry, we want to see right here that it looks like 3, Gia's Fuego, and the 6, Baki, those 2 horses, they want to be on the front, and by golly, that's where they'll likely find themselves, although that 6 horse might need to find a little energy at the end of the race to hang in there. Late speed, Kanai Cool has a 9-point advantage over everybody else out of the closers. So you might want to keep an eye on that one down the stretch, especially if it's close early on. Total pace, we do see Gia's Fuego is going to be Fuego. Could be tough to beat. But again, pretty competitive race. Maybe you can X out the one. JJ Loves Billy. I feel bad for Billy, but I don't think JJ gets this one done. So I probably just put it in the winner's circle. Terry, what do you think?
Yeah, I really think it's really wide open. I like the 3, Gia's Fuego. She finished second versus similar in her last race, has a high percentage winning jockey. She can improve at this shorter distance and has a high speed figure at today's distance. Assume Control, the 4, is my second choice. She finished third versus similar in her last race, and she was the favorite. But she has a trainer wins, a high percentage winning trainer wins 23% of the starts when bringing a beaten favorite back to race again. Her best start speed is fastest among today's starters. And then I like the number 6. She can improve while returning to the dirt. Drops in class today, has a trainer who wins 29% of the starts when he drops a horse down 2+ classes, and the shorter distance may help her. And then as my long shot, Sizzling Roma, the 8, has a high percentage winning jockey, Paco Lopez, and a high percentage winning trainer. I'm going to play a 50-cent pick 4. I'm going to play the 3, 4, 6, and 8 because I think it's wide open, with the 1, 5, with the 2, 5, 6, with the 1, 10.
So I agree with buy stocks. Good advice. Learn from your mistakes. Don't repeat them. One of the really helpful things that we do here is agree on the 4. Could be sleeper, shows wins at a higher class. Indeed. One of the great benefits is I write everything down on notes, and we put the notes over on on horseracingtoday.net once the show's over, maybe 5, 10, 20 minutes afterwards to get it up and posted. And then I go back and I read through my notes pretty much every single day and just kind of identify some of the trends that are working over and over and over again, and maybe some of the combinations that don't work. And I would suggest everybody has access to Google Sheets. If you don't have Microsoft Office, just go into Google Sheets when you're going to handicap. Put in the horses you like, and in another column, put in the notes why you like them, and then go back and put in if they won or what place they finished, and then rank them by winners. And I think you'll find is in your notes, you'll start to see a lot of the things that horses that won is something that you've identified that repeats itself over and over and over again. And then you can say to yourself, like, I don't have to bet on every race. I'm only going to bet on the horses in these races where I find this combination of things. It hits at 30% of the time, roughly speaking. And then if it hits at 30% of the time, I'm only going to bet these horses when they have odds of 3-1 or higher. And that's how you could build yourself a system with a positive ROI. And then race number 1, you asked who won race number 1. I don't think they've settled on that yet.
They haven't.
They did. They flipped the 5 down. How about that?
Oh,
and they flipped
okay.
it. They moved the 3 down to so it went 5, 3, 4, and 6. 5, 3, 4, and 6 in the opener. With
Screwed me up. Screwed up my bets.
Yeah, I kind of figured there was going to be objection when he came out. So it doesn't surprise me that there was a little bit of interference. It's not the most crazy thing I've seen at Parx. It's surprising to me a little bit that I got knocked down. But anyway, Gia's Fuego does get the top ranking for me, coming off the top last race speed figure in race number 2. Resume says that the third race off the bench should be as good as the second or the first. I don't expect any regression. Bocce, that 6 horse, down multiple classes after running similar fractions at 1 mile and 70 yards on turf as he did on 6 furlongs on the dirt. So I think cutting back to 6 furlongs after that robust effort, I think they probably just sent the horse on turf to give it more fitness. They're really probably identifying this race as the one they want to win. Number 4, Assumed Control, does have our friend Christopher D'Souza's top C-zone score. Big question for him is, can he get off to a faster start? Get off to a good start. That strong C-zone score has a real good shot. Number 5, Can I Cool? Tough call over the 8 horse and Paco Lopez, but this one has an aggressive 9-point advantage over everybody else in this field. Maybe doesn't get up, the quintessential Tom horse for the win, but one that you probably do want to have in the back half of your exactas and trifectas. I don't have it in my exacta or trifecta here because I did a pick 4 for 50 cents, Terry, like you. 3, 6, I think those two are the class of the field. 1, 2, 5 over the 2, 5, 6 over the 6 and the 10 in the 5th race. Let's move on, Terry, to race number 3. What do you say?
All right, 7 furlongs, claiming race, 12,500 claiming price, purse of 23,000. It's for 3-year-olds and upwards which have never won 3 races.
And then our way to the winner's circle for race number 3, if we take a look at this 7 furlong affair, 31% of the time the horses go wire to wire. Again, we'll find that tactical speed is the key. You probably want to be forwardly placed, which is not surprising at Parx. You do have a strong inside 3 bias with the post positions. 4 through 7, they perform better than 8 and out. Before we move on to our information, Terry, let's talk a little bit about a pick that we got here from Cartel. Cartel Turk says in race number 3, the 5 wins. He's putting it very bluntly. 3 places runner-up. So he's going to do the Charles Ice Cold Exacta, 5-3 in race number 3. Terry,
all right.
Looking at our simulations, what do you see from the 5 or the 3? Do either one of them, doesn't look like either one of them will be on the lead, although the 5 looks like it might have a shot.
Yeah, the two has the most speed and should probably get to that quarter pole first. And then that 5 does have a nice overlay. It's supposed to be way just above, way under even money. It's supposed to be like 2 to 5, something like that. And it's listed at like 8 to 5 on the morning line. Most of these have pretty good C-zone numbers, especially the 6, 2, 4, and 5. So
I agree with you on this, the consultant. You want to have the action. Eddie Olczyk said once on a show, everybody should make a bet every day just in case you're walking around lucky and you don't know it. And that's why I like to bet on every race with my $100 budget if I can. If I don't get the ruler across the knuckles from the professor above me. But one of the things I like to do then too is old friend of mine, his father, professional gambler, always mentioned this, why I have pretty much a hot dog better my whole life, is I like to make small bets then if I want to be involved in every race with higher payouts. And that's why I tend to focus on trifectas and superfectas. Like this trifecta, $6. I've had many of them that pay $300 or more. And if you hit the big ones like that, you take your winnings, you put it in your right pocket, and you continue to play with the money in your left pocket till it's gone. And then you go home a winner that way too. And that's a hard one to have discipline too, because you know you got the money over there and there's more races. I understand. All right, Terry. So in race number 2, when we look, race number 3, when we look at our race shape, we do see that all of these horses want to be pretty much forwardly placed. A 4-horse and the 2-horse do have a little bit of tacticalness to them as they're EPs and PCs. So the 2 doesn't need to be the lead, can pilot or co-pilot. The 4-horse is probably your most versatile horse in this spot. Early speed wise, we'll see that the Perfect Silent Cat of the 2 leaders, but give me my bullets back along with, I'm not even going to bother. They should be on the front. As you come home, the late legs belongs to the 4-horse, R. Mark Steven. That one could get himself involved at the end. Doesn't have that big of an advantage over everybody else. So I think he's probably going to have to scoot out of the gates a little bit faster than maybe he wants. And then as far as the total pace is concerned, the 5-horse, your leader, one of the 2 leaders at the beginning, Perfect Silent Cat, scoring out with the best in terms of total pace by 7 points. That's the one that our friend Cartel likes. That's the one that you like. That's the one I like. Is that a bad thing, Terry?
No, I don't think so. I like when there's several people like a horse. I like that 5-horse Perfect Silent Cat. He finished third versus similar in his last race after winning the race before that. Switches to high percentage winning trainer, has a high percentage winning jockey, and a good 4 furlong workout on the 29th of June. Number 1, Sight Unseen, is my second choice. He comes in from Aqueduct to try Parx Racing. Rail Post is winning at a 22% clip. He switches to high percentage winning jockey. He can improve while returning to a sprint. And then number 3, Alonzo Mosley. He won his last race at Parx Racing and has the highest last speed rating and has a high percentage winning jockey. Number 2 is my long shot.
Let's see. Minx's hips don't lie. We got that one.
That's right. He finished third versus similar in his last race, has a favorite, but he has a high percentage winning trainer. And this trainer wins 23% of the starts when bringing a beaten favorite back to race again. The distance won't be a problem as he's performed well at this distance in the past. I don't have any bets here.
That's a Shakira horse, right? The hips don't lie, if you remember that song. Indeed, her hips do not lie. In race number 3, I like the perfect. Do we agree on the first 3 races on all the horses? Perfect Silent Cat moving down in class to here, Terry. The lowest level this horse has run in its last 10. Does have a couple of nice workouts, just maintenance workouts, nothing bristling fast, but enough to keep the horse in shape, toned, and ready to go. Minx's hips don't lie is the lone EP horse, as we talked about in our race shape. And here, Terry, again, sitting in between the ones that want to be on the front and the ones that might want to come from a little bit more off the pace. Number 1, Sight Unseen, as you mentioned, Terry, is a track jopper, has some back speed, gets the hot rail, and the one who wins almost every race at Parx, Paco Lopez, going to ride there. Number 6, Give Me Back My Bullets, a little bit of a hat tip to Leonard Skinner. Best C-zone in the race, should be attractive to Christopher D'Souza. At Parx, 6 times out, a win, a second, and 2 thirds. And then at the distance, 4 times out, a win, a second, and a third. So likes the tracks, likes the distance. Great trip, most likely. Should be a competitive one in this race. I have a trifecta, 1, 2, 5 with the 2, 5 with the 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6. So that means the 4-horse, Terry, is going to be your winner because it's the only one I don't have in the back end of my It seems to go like that sometimes, no?
Yeah.
All right. So your pick 5, is that in the opening race? Well, it can't be in the opening race. It has to be in the back half. So 5, 6, 1, 2, and 6. That is a pick 5 of integrity. Single. You can't get any more pure than that. Race 4, Terry, is our next endeavor. For you and me, anyway. For race 4, tell us about what they're going to do here.
Well, it originally was going to be on the turf, but now it's moved from the turf to the regular track, and it's 1 mile and 70 yards for maiden claiming 30,000, a purse of 28,000. It has for maidens 3-year-olds and upward. So there you go.
And these are some of your favorite races to hit the all button, right, Terry? To go a little bit deeper.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. I guess, as you mentioned, Terry, that is on the dirt instead of the turf, off the turf today, even though the dirt is fast. At the 1 mile 70 yards on the dirt, the kind of horse that typically gets the job done, has early speed with 3 out of 10, taking the field from gate to wire, wire to wire, from go to photo, however it is you want to title it. There is a rail bonus, so Mischief Warrior could do pretty well, but I think that one is scratched, if I remember correctly. 2 through 7 play fair, 8 and out. You do catch a little bit of a penalty, Terry. In race number 4, our simulations tell us that there are a couple of horses that are scratched out here. The 1, the 4, the 9, take them out, take a lot of the speed out. Looks like the 5 horse might be the most grateful for the changes today.
Yeah, it's the only one that really shows any speed that's left. And then the 3 has a nice little overlay. It's supposed to be just over 3-1 simulated odds, and it's 6-1 on the morning line. The 2, 6, and 10 have the best C zone numbers.
They should have some pretty nice races. Let's see if their C zones also match up with the race shape. We do see here, Terry, this is an interesting race shape to me. You have the Sesame Street horse in here and the 10 horse. One that doesn't look like any of the others is the lone P horse. Should be a horse that fits right behind the 2 and 6. Let's see if either of those, which want the lead, are going to get the lead. Yes, indeed. Laytown has a 5-point advantage over the next closest horse, and that is our friends. Man, sometimes the brain doesn't work, but our friend JT Bruce pick of for this race is the Laytown, if I remember correctly. I remember that part, but then I was having a hard time putting JT and Brew together at the end there. So as our good friend Jay Marco says, the brain's the first thing to go. So the 6 should be where it wants to be on the front. Everybody else wants to come from behind. The 10 horse is a pressure horse, maybe a little bit off the path more than it wants to be, so maybe has to hustle a little more out. The 11 horse, Bolt in the back, that one will be coming the fastest at the end, though it has plenty of company, minus the 6 horse that has that early speed. The total pace numbers, the 8 horse getting the top of that, the 2 horse cracked the code right behind. JT's Jack in the Box. Those 3 have a little bit of an edge over everybody else in here, Terry. Competitive race, this maiden claiming. Maybe the all buttons the way to go, but that's not what you did.
No, because we don't have that kind of budget. I like the 6 laid down as my first pick. Finished 3rd versus Tougher on the dirt. So it's been moved to the dirt, so that's good in this last race. But breeding drops in class today, and he has a high percentage winning trainer. Crack the Code, number 2, is my second pick. Ran 2nd versus Simmer on the dirt in his last race. And he has the highest speed figure at today's distance, switches to high percentage winning jockey. The 5 Back East finished 3rd in his last race and has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. Number 8, Merging Traffic. He can improve in the 3rd start since layoff and has a high percentage winning jockey. I'm going to play pick 4. I'm going to play the 2-5-6 with the 1-5, with the 1-3-5-6, with the 1-3-7.
I absolutely love El Rey's confidence in here. This is pick 5 again, starting in the, what is that going to be, race number 6, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, starting in race number 6, 5, 6, 1, 2, 6. I mentioned that he has the pick 5 of integrity, and he says, hey, all singles because that's all I need. I just pick the best horses. I absolutely love that confidence.
Yep.
For me, in race number 4, I'm going to start off with the 6 horse 2, Terry Laytown. You and I are overlapping a lot today. 31% winner for trainer Juanito Solis when the horse is making the 3rd start after a layoff. One of, if his not his best angle. Only other 3rd start that the horse has had in its career, the 3rd race in the 3-race cycle, was the best of the lot. Number 5, Back East, lightly raced horse with much better numbers in its 2nd career start relative to its 1st one, and moving down in class today. Number 2, Crack the Code. This one's a track dropper. Just missed at Monmouth last time out. And this time at the horse at the distance, twice out with a 2nd and a 3rd. And then finally, Zoppy Fishbine. Down in class, coming off the top last race, Speedfagger. Pretty good combination. If you're just, when you're reading the comments, you see that might be a horse that you want to investigate more, especially one that showed improvement in its first opening half pace numbers last out. And again, if you watch our shows, Craig Milkowski came on from Timeform US and said one of the things he noticed is horses that have better pace numbers in its prior race to the race before that tend to be indications of horses on the rise. I'm going to do a pick 4 like you, Terry. Start with the 2, 5, and 6. Then I'm going to go 5, 6 in the next leg. So we can't both win, Terry.
Nope.
Because I don't have the 1 or the 10 in mind unless I screwed up somewhere. And then that's a trifecta. That's why. Yeah. 2, 5, 6, 5, 6 over the 2, 3, 5, 6, and 12. All right, good.
That's right.
That explains it.
As you see here, Cartel Turk in this 4th race likes a 2, 5, and 10.
2, 5, and 10 could be a nice trifecta in there too. So want to say thank you to Nilo Pisanan for giving us a thumbs up on Facebook. I know most folks watch us on YouTube. If you're watching us on YouTube or Facebook, we do appreciate the thumbs up. We do appreciate the comments. Any kind of interaction that we get from you helps us with the algorithms. The more algorithms love we get, the more people get when they suggested videos, the more of that ends up in their inbox. It'll help us get to 10,000 subscribers faster. It's an easy way, inexpensive way, free to help us. And we greatly appreciate that too. All right, Terry. So I think that takes us now to race number 5. We have time for that one, right?
Oh, yeah. We still have 5 minutes. So anyway, this is a 6.5 furlong. It's claiming 16,000 claiming, but the purse 28,000 is for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, which have started for 16,000 or less, and which have never won 2 races, or claiming price 16,000, which has never won 2 races.
That's a lot of confusion for me, Terry.
It is. It's very confusing.
Let's see if we can unwind some of that. At 6.5 furlongs, the kind of horse that you're looking for has early speed. Again, 3 out of 10, take them from beginning to the end on the front. Post positions 1 through 3, they play the best. 4 through 7, they play the worst. And 8 and out, they play fair, Terry. So you want some inside speed if you can find it in race number 5. It looks like the one that was on the inside with the most speeds on this outside watching in. The horse on the outside is the one that has the speed.
Yeah, the number 10 Bunny Bonus, if it can get out of that gate with no problems, it should maybe get to that quarter pole first. And then there's a very small overlay on the 7. Supposed to be 9-2, and it's listed at 5-1 on the morning line. All of these have pretty darn decent C-zone numbers except for the 10 and the 3.
So 10 is going to be on the lead. You might not feel comfortable up there. That's what the C-zone is perhaps hinting at. The 10, oh, look at this, Terry. You got 2 horses that want to be on the front. Everybody else likes to come from off the pace. A lot of times in here, I'm looking for a horse in here that has a little bit of going to be more forwardly placed than usual, what I call a left arrow horse. So if you're looking for the early speed in here, at least the 10 horse, Bonus Bunny is the one that's going to be out of the gate, the rabbit that they all should be chasing. Although there's that left arrow horse, Running Redbird, Terry, along with the 5 horse, the other speed type. Those trios should be up front. Free Shot might give it a shot. Then there's a pretty good drop off to everybody else. I'd expect one of these 4, unless somebody decides to do something they haven't done before, to be your leader. Probably 30% it's the 10, 25% it's the 1. Of the late speed, the 4 horse, Take It to the Max, has the max late speed. Only 3 of them really of the closers stand out from all of the rest. There's a pretty good drop off from there. Our total pace score belongs to the 1 horse, Running Redbird. That is that left arrow horse. Maybe gets off to a good start, sits behind the 5 and the 10, uses its experience as a closer to close the show, Terry. And that's how you line them up, 10-1.
That's right. And I've got a feeling that 10, though, is going to, Bunny Bonus, going to get out of that gate and go all the way. She won her last race and has that last race speed rating, which and she switches high percentage winning jockey. Running Redbird, the 1, is my second choice, ran second versus similar in her last race, has a high percentage winning trainer. 7, Old Head, finished 3rd in her last race and has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And then the 4, Take It to the Max, is my long shot. She can improve while returning to dirt. Has a trainer who wins 50% of the starts when taking a horse from turf to dirt, and her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. I'm not making a bet in this race.
The 10 horse Bunny Bonus has a strong chance to be on the lead, as we've talked about it here. It's one of 2 E horses, but more early speed than the other speed horse in here. Top last race speed figure last time out by a pretty decent margin. And when you're going through the past performances and you see, I think this one had like a 7-point advantage over the next closest one. So you see 84, 73, and then 68, 70, 76. That's one of the closer ones. 69, not close, although it does have an 80 back in here. So can't compete. 71, 76, and then a couple more to go here. 66, 77. So you see there's a pretty significant edge that horse has over all the rest. Whenever you see that big of a speed number distance, that horse either has to come down or the other ones have to go up. If they all run the same, that horse could be an easy winner. Luna T, the 6 horse, it gets the second call from me, Terry. This is Paco Lopez riding this horse in its second start off a break. Last time out, if you look at those fractions, let me pull them up again here too. Another thing that I like to look at. If you look at those fractions, look here, 6 furlongs, 44-4 at the half-mile marker. It's only 4 lengths off. Here you look at 6 furlongs, right? And that was 23-2, so it's actually slower. And he was even farther back from the leader in that race. Those are some really fast fractions. That was the first time Paco rode that horse. Huge improvement on the 6. I think you'll see some additional improvement in race number 2 with Paco aboard. Number 1, Running Redbird, is that left arrow horse we talked about, making the third start off a layoff. My concern with the one horse and why I downgraded a little bit, the only time the horse made it through a 3-race cycle, in the 3rd race, it regressed a lot. It's not a perfect thing, but until it shows me it's going to break that habit, I want it to, I'm going to guess that he might do it again. And then finally, Bay and Gold, at her best, the 5 horse can run away from these. At her worst, you might see that one walking across the finish line. Those type of horses you have to have in your picks, because if they run their best, you usually get a pretty good payout for those. Race number 5, Cartel likes the 4 and the 10 horse, Mr. Terry. And they're about to run race number 2. So let's go back to our thoughts for race number 2. We both like the 3 horse in here, which is a 1-to-1 favorite right now.
Yeah.
And we both have a pick 4 here, with the Terry going a little bit deeper, the 3, 4, and 6 and 8. So he's hoping for the upset. I think we both would accept the 6 horse winning at 7-2, and both can move forward from there. Yeah. And they're off. And again, you got a pretty straight line across the board there. The 6 horse that we thought might be part of the lead did not come out very sharply. The 1 horse the 3 horse is your leader right now. Gios Fuego does have the 8 horse Sizzling Roma to its outside. The 2 horse BB's Rocket didn't get to the lead, although it is 3rd, sitting right there as we thought would be forwardly placed. Opening quarter 22 and 3, we saw in race number 1, 22 and 2 didn't hold. The 6 horse is behind the trio of leaders by about a length and a half, trying to close that ground. That 8 horse on the outside, Terry, making an aggressive move, pushing up. BB's Sizzling Roma pushing up on Guys Fuego. It does look like to me, the 6 horse is running up the track a little bit. Is that the 6 or the 5 horse? Yeah, there's the 6 horse because he's gray. The 8 horse has taken control of the race right now on the front. Jockey hasn't even asked for anything. The race, the reins are still loose. It's going to be your winner, probably be your winner running away, Terry. He comes down in front of the 3 to discourage it from trying to make its way to the finish line first. It's going to go 8, 3, 2, 7, 8, 3, 2, and 7, Mr. Terry.
All right. Well, let's hope that 8 good. I hope. I'm glad he didn't do anything. Didn't seem like it, so I don't get disqualified again.
Nah, he's not going to get disqualified.
No, I know he's not. I wish that 3 last race had won just like this one did.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was pretty easy. So there you go. I like Terry's picks. No bet. You like Terry's picks? Well, Terry got that 8 horse there. I didn't have him in my picks in there. Maybe a little bit rusty after spending a week on the beach. Maybe the brain is a little bit sand mixed in there, Terry.
Could be.
A little bit of sun burning it out. All right, now we move forward after race number 2 is in the books, with the 8 horse making easy work of everybody else. We're going to go to race number 6 as we make our way through the card. Halfway now, Terry. We should be able to finish up before race number 3 gets started. So tell us about race 6.
Yeah, this is a 6 furlong. It's for maidens, 50,000 K. And it's a purse of 50,000 for registered Pennsylvania bred maidens, 3-year-olds and upward.
And once again, we find that 6 furlongs does favor tactical speed. A lot, though, do go wire to wire at 37%. Post positions 1 through 7, play fair. 8 and out, you get a little bit of a bonus. So in race number 6, maybe a little bit of outside speed. Looks like most of the speed is to the outside.
Yeah, it is. But look at that speed for that Warriors pay, whatever that is, paycheck.
Payoff,
Payoff, whatever. Yeah, it's got a lot of speed there. So it should get there if it has no problems. And then the 1 has a nice overlay. It's almost double. It's 3-1. Simulated odds, 6-1 on the morning line. The 5 also almost double. It's about 5-2, listed at 9-2 in the morning line. And this 8 horse has a really good overlay. It's supposed to be just over 4-1. Simulated odds, listed at 12-1. The C-zone numbers, look at the 6, 8, and 7 are all pretty good. Everybody else is pretty low on their C-zone numbers.
Yeah, everybody else might find the race pace to be a little bit uncomfortable. As far as the race shape is concerned, look at this, Terry. You got the 8 horse, Nikki the Fox, lone E horse. Can be really courageous, I suppose, if it gets the lead. The 2 horse being a first-time starter. So this is kind of like a triangle race shape towards the back. You got 3 horses, the 4, the 6, and the 9 that so far in their limited experience haven't been within 5 lengths of the leader at the finish line. So if we look at the early speed, it does look like Warriors pay off in separate ways. Those two should be up front there. So that not close horse is going to have to show more late legs and energy than it did so far. As far as the late speed is concerned, we do find that the 5 horse is engaged with some of the closers in there, but whoosh and Big Boy Answer, the closer, they should be the ones closing, have a pretty good advantage over the rest of the field. As far as our total pace is concerned, Big Boy's Answer scoring 4 points better than Warriors Payoff, who is 7 points to the north of the next closest horse, Whoosh. So I wouldn't be shocked at all to see the 1 or the 5, Terry, come home the winner based upon total pace scores. How about in terms of your handicapping?
Yeah, I like that closer. Big Boy's Answer has had trouble in his debut race and still ran second. Has a high percentage winning trainer and switches to high percentage winning jockey. 6 separate ways, finished third versus Simmer in his last race. He has the highest last race speed rating. He's actually tied with another horse. He's a high percentage winning trainer, and this trainer wins 32% of the races when using first-time blinkers. Number 3, Viral Video, finished third versus Simmer in his last race. His best start speed is fast as Monk Did He Start is my third pick. And that 5 that you mentioned is my long shot, Warriors Payoff. He was well bet in the debut and finished third and has a high percentage winning trainer whose horses win 23% of the races, of the sprint races they are entered in. And I have no bet in this race either.
I'm going to start with the 6 horse today, Separate Ways, one of the good Journey song, Separate Ways, tied for the top last race speed figure. Did run a better 6 furlong final time in that race, showing more stamina at the end. So maybe a little bit more improvement today for Separate Ways. Number 9, Social Acceptance, does have a bullet workout between races. This is going to be the third start, and the horse improved a lot in start number 2 compared to start number 1. You see a similar step forward in race number 3, along with the weight break with Sofia Vives on board. Could get this race. Number 1, Big Boy's Answer. Looks like a step up in class for this one, but is it? In the last race, this one ran against Open Company and moves to state breds today. In case you're new to horse racing, you want to know how to designate that. You see here, this one ran in maiden, claiming 25,000 last time. That's all that you see in the race type. So over here, you see this one ran in a maiden special weight, 50,000. It looks like it might be a higher grade, but it has got that boxed in S there. So that lets you know that it's a state bred race. And a lot of times Open Company races are more competitive than state bred races. And then after that, I have Warriors Payoff, the 5 horse. I'm not the biggest fan, as you know, Terry, of horses that ship in from Penn without any Parx experience. That's why I have this one 4th and not higher. Very good workouts, 2 of them in between its debut and today, and got a shot to be your pace setter, according to this, off that one effort. And if it does get to the front and can translate that Parx could run away with this race. Trifecta for me, 169, 69 over the 1, 5, 6, 7, and 9. Race number 7 is next on the card. Next for you and I. Terry, again, 6 furlongs. What's going to happen here?
Yeah, it's 6 furlongs. It's claiming price for $7,500, and purse is $23,000. It's for 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 4 races.
Yeah, so you got winners facing winners, which can be very competitive races. In race number 7, as far as who's going to compete for the lead, sure looks like 2 of them, Terry, have the best shot to be out on front, and everybody else have to try to get by them.
Yeah, it looks like to me the 8 and the 10, they have the most speed there.
Yeah, I've got you messed up here. That's the 8 and the 1.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I had the sheet shifted to the right. I apologize. Screwing everybody up. That's again a little bit of dust in the ears.
Yeah, the 8 and the 1, and then the 3 has a pretty nice overlay. It's supposed to be like 6 to 5 in the simulated odds, and it's listed at 7 to 2 on the morning line. That's about it on that. All of these have pretty darn good C-zone numbers, except for the 3.
And then in race number 7, Cartel Turk says the 7 and the 8 is to where you want to go. Let's see if indeed where they want to go on the track in race number 7. According to race number 7, is my internet about to go funky because it says you're trying to reconnect? I hope I'm not out. Anyway, 1, 7, 10 is your speed horses, with the 8 being the lone EP type. It's got a lot of forwardly placed horses up in here with the 1, 7, 10, the 6, and the 9. So the 8 has the most options. The 3 and the 5, they're kind of a little bit different than everybody else because everyone else wants to be forwardly placed. If those 5 or 6 horses decide they want to go too fast, the 3 and the 5 could take advantage of that. As far as the early speed, we do see that 8 horse Causes Trouble, the lone EP type, could take the lead. I think he probably could prove to be patient unless they go too slow. Late speed, Healy's Hope of the closers. That one's really going to get out and get after it in the end. In fact, that's a pretty big advantage. 16 points over the next closest horse in there. It's something you can't ignore, especially since the horse is part of the trio that are about 9 points better than everybody else in terms of total pace. Not at all surprised to see the 1, 3, or 8, Terry, getting its photo taken today.
Yeah, I like the one Positively Awesomes. He's finished in the money in his last 3 starts. He ran third in his last race, and his best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. Number 3, Healy's Hope, is my second choice. Finished third in his last race, has the last race highest last race speed rating. And then Tankinator, the 7, is my third pick. Has an early foot, has the highest speed figure at today's distance. Number 8's my long shot, Causes Trouble, ran second versus similar in his last race. His early speed running style will help his chances here, I think, and shorter distance may help. I'm going to play a 50-cent pick for 4. I'm going to use the 1 and the 3 with the 5 and the 13 and the 2 and the 6 and finish up with the 1, 6, 8.
I like the 8 horse Causes Trouble, Terry. That's something you and Charles do when I'm not around.
That's
It
right.
is the lone EP type, as we talked about here in the race shape. So I think it should get a nice trip in there, sit right where it wants to be, can be on the lead. That versatility could come and be helpful, and is the total top pace horse in the field. Number 3, Healy's Hope, did run the top last race speed figure and does have that 16-point late pace advantage. That's way too big of an edge over the rest of the horses in the field to ignore. Might not be able to run them down, but sure is going to met a lot of pressure on them at the end. When everybody want to be forwardly placed, they go too quick, could run by him and win by a lot. Tankinator, the 7, much faster early fractions last time out, cutting back from 6.5 furlongs to 6 furlongs. Could prove to be a difference maker. And finally, Positively Awesome, best combination of early speed and C-zone. We've seen when it's green like this, Terry, especially with horses that have basically fair odds to morning line, those horses do exceptionally well. I do think this race has an opportunity to be a little bit on the open side. So I just put all of my top 4 to start off my pick 4. See if I can get off to winning way. 5, 10, 13 in race number 2 or race number 8. In race number 9, 2, 6, 10. And I'm going to close it out with the 1 and 6 in the final race. I wanted to put more horses in the back end too, but unfortunately limited by $100 budget. My own rules coming back to bite me, Terry.
Yep.
In race 8, again, they were going to run on turf, Terry, but they're not today.
No, they taken it off of the turf, so it's a mile and 70 yards. It's a claiming rate, $16,000 claiming race with purse $32,000 for fillies and mares 3 years old and upward, which haven't started for a claiming price of $10,000 or less since July 11th, 2021, or a claiming price of $16,000.
Yeah, so here we have the optional claiming race again. So just to kind of go through the program again, in case you're new to horse racing, you kind of want to know which horses are up for sale. You see right here, the $16,000. This horse is in for a price, Madame Rouge, whereas the first 3 of them, you don't see a number there, so they're not available for sale today. So they've opted not to be claimable in race number 8. In race number 8, our friend Cartel likes the 5 horse. Mark that down. And also, if you like any picks, have any comments, any questions, make sure you let us know in the comment section in here. In race number 8, as we talked about, at a mile, Terry, and 70 yards, the profile of a winner, you got to know the kind of horses that stand the best chance to win. And the horses that have the best chance to win usually have early speed with 3 out of 10, taking them from wire to wire. The rail. So Miss Loyalty could have a little bit of an edge there on the rail. 2 through 7 play fair, 8 and out. A little bit of a penalty, Terry. All of the speed, Frosted Wild's Ride was going to be the one that was on the lead. So it's just going to be a coin toss as to who will have the lead. Right. They're all red.
Yep. None of them show speed with all the dang scratches in here. As far as the overlay, the 10 has a really nice overlay. It's supposed to be, less than even money. And it's listed at 12-1 on the morning line. And as far as the C zones, the 4, 5, 10, and 13 have the best C zone numbers.
Yeah, strong C-zone scores for those horses. As far as the race shape for race number 8, we'll see the 13 is a lone E horse again, Terry. Everybody else wants to be middle back. Is Summer at the Spa, which is a fun place to spend some time. We spent some summer time together last year at the Spa, Terry.
We sure did. It was fun too.
Yes, if it can get out to the lead, Aaron's Enthusiasm, a closer. And there you have that left arrow horse again, one that usually wants to come from the back. It's normal giddy up and go when the gates open. Should put him up towards the front. If indeed that's the case, he might be able to use his experience as a closer to finish off the race. Classy Miss, that 10 horse, Terry. 10-point late pace advantage over the next closest horse. And probably with this group is not going to be all that far off the lead. I think maybe third, maybe fourth maximum. And then as far as the total pace, you're looking at a 10-point advantage over the 12 horse. Current situation, everybody but the 1 and the 4 kind of grades out pretty similarly behind that 10, Classy Miss, who also scored pretty well, as we saw on the sim odds. That horse isn't going to be 12-1, Terry, but it's going to be somewhere in your picks.
That's right. Well, you know, they really changed this race for me. I had to go back 2 or 3 times and look at it, but I settled on the 5, Aaron's Enthusiasm. She ran second versus Simmer on the dirt in her last race, so she likes the dirt. Has a high percentage winning trainer who horses win 27% of the races in routes. And the trainer jockey combination in the last 14 days have been in the money 3 out of 4 times and won 2 of those races. 13, Summer at the Spa. She ran second versus Similar in her last race and has a high percentage winning trainer whose horses win 23% of the races in the second start with that trainer and has a high percentage winning jockey. The 10, Classy Miss, my third pick, has won 2 of her last 3 races at Parx Racing, has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and the jockey in the last 17 days. Been in the money in 7 out of 15 starts, 4 wins, 3 seconds. My long shot is a 3, Ginger's Wish. She drops in class today and has a win at Parx Racing. So,
Christopher D'Souza likes the 10 horse, as do I, but he's going to do a $10 exacta box with the 1, Miss Loyalty. So Aaron's Enthusiasm for Kirk, for Cartel Turk. We talked about that already. I like the 10 horse too, just like Christopher. That's why I highlighted it in here in the 8th race. You have Classy Miss, does have that strong, the total late pace edge over the rest of the field. If you just look through the last 3 races, I think any one of them, you could pick any one of them out, and they would have been good enough to win this race. If you can just repeat any of those 3, probably does kick off the top end of the exacta. Aaron's Enthusiasm, Cartel's one, is the one I think will be the back end of that exacta. Is that left arrow horse that did tie for the top last race speed figure. Ness and Pennington is the combination here for a horse that's likely, I think, to be your pace setter today, Terry. Number 13, Summer at the Spa. It's the one we mentioned that has the lone E grading on our pace sheet there. That horse can get to the front, Terry. When you look back in its past performances for that 13, it's also one that the trainer had scratched into this race. So those AE horses are always ones you want to pay attention to. But look right here when this horse did get the lead, Terry. Showed a lot of confidence in scoring in one of those races. Kind of fell off a little bit at the end there. But get to the front, hold on to that confidence. Should have a shot to be in it at the end. And then finally, number 14, Complete. That horse was better in terms of its pace numbers from beginning to middle to end last out, Terry, and does have some potential back speed.
Yeah, except for I'm sorry to tell you that horse has been scratched.
The 13's been taken out?
No, the 14.
Oh, he's been taken out since we got started? All right, so I'll take him out of here, Terry. I can replace him because you know why? I'm prepared, my friend.
All right.
I'm always equipped. The next horse up on the list for me there was the 4 horse. Madame Rouge. So we're going to put the 4 there instead, Terry, and then that will take care of that. And you know, the thing is, I didn't have a bet in that race anyway, Terry.
It doesn't matter, yeah.
All right, so no bets for me in race number 8. So we didn't spend any money in race number 8, so we'll spend a little bit of time and some money in race number 9.
All right, so let's take a look at these information on this race. Hey, this 5.5 furlong race. It's 40,000. I guess that's for
optional claiming.
Optional claiming, yeah, if I can get my tongue right here. And the purse is 44,000 for fillies at 3-year-olds or fillies and mares 4-year-olds and upward, which have never won 2 races or claiming rate price for 40,000 and which have never won 2 races.
5.5 furlongs. So when you say Paco got this race, which race are you talking about, Arturo? Race number 3, race number 8 that we just talked about, race number 9? Let us know which one you're referring to. So we certainly want to make sure that we can make a note of that, so people, as they watch the races, they can keep an eye out for that horse. 5.5 furlongs does favor some, well, Terry, shockingly, it doesn't favor really anybody. It's kind of fair, 50-50 between horses that want to get to the front and horses that like to come from off the pace. Although you get to the front a third of the time, you do stay there to the finish line. You have a strong inside 3 bias, 4 through 7. They get squeezed a little bit under par. 8 and out, they're almost fair, Terry. So it looks like in race number 8, maybe a little bit of inside speed. Race number 9. Maybe a little bit of inside speed might be the trick, but there's none of it in there.
All right.
So we're looking at the speed figures now, these simulations.
Yeah. Or you talking to me?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I thought you were going to go to the comment there, but okay, yeah. The 9 has the most speed here, and really, the only other one is the 10, and then the 8 has an overlay of supposed to be 2-1 simulated odds, and it's listed at 6-1 on the morning line, and then all of them have good C zones except for that 3.
So Kaise Caro says Paco Lopez con el 8 y segundo el 3. So it looks like he likes the 8 horse in race number 3 to be your winner there at Parx. But there's no 8 in race number 3, so I don't know which race he's talking about.
I think he means race 8.
The 3 horse.
Yeah, race 8.
Yes, indeed. Race 8. Here we go.
Yeah,
race
Ginger's
8.
Wish.
Ginger's Wish. There you go. That's the one he likes with Paco on there. And
yeah,
Harry has him, and I don't have him. So good luck to both of you, my friends.
Yep.
In the 9th race, as far as our race shape is concerned, you do see that is a balanced race in here, Terry. But 2 horses in here stand out to me in terms of where they are located in here, the 2 and the 6. They stand out because both have versatility. The 7 and 9, they might be lead dependent. The 8 and 10 want to play co-pilots. The 3 and the 5, they want to close. If the pace goes too fast, those horses up front could struggle. If the pace goes too slow, the horses in the back might have a difficult time. Whereas the 2 and 6 can probably run any style that the front runners want to set. As far as the front runners are concerned, Celtic Tiger, 2-point advantage over Wicked Sight, that PC horse. So those 2 should get to the lead, although except for the 3, the 7, and the 5. So the 7 as your E-horse over here, Brooklyn Heights, if that's the one you're backing, you might be a little bit concerned. Late speed, it should involve himself, though, as the second best late speed, although that 6 horse, which does have some of the best early speed, does have a 5-point late pace advantage over the rest of the field. You might be difficult to pass what you can't catch, Terry. And if you look ahead at that total pace score, 12 points better out than Avatar Hero, and even better than that against the rest of the crew. So maybe that 6 horse and their Wicked Sight might be difficult to beat. We both think he will come home first.
Yes, I do. That Wicked Sight is my first pick. She was well bet in her debut and won that race at Parx Racing, has the highest last speed rating. Number 2, Girl Trouble, finished 5th in her last race as a favorite, but has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 37% of the starts when he brings a beaten favorite back to race again and can improve while returning to a sprint. Number 8 is my third pick, finished 3rd in her last race, may improve at a shorter distance, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Number 9, Celtic Tigers, my long shot, ran 2nd in her last race, can improve at the shorter distance, and has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. And of course, I'm out of money, so I made no bets.
And Christopher D'Souza going a different way altogether. He's going to go with that long shot, Brooklyn Heights, with the 7-3 exact the box. He does like that strong C-zone score, and we've seen those horses come in a lot. So hopefully Christopher hits that long shot in there. Want to say thank you to some more folks. Philip Perkins, Patrick Brooks, Beverly Taylor, Tom O'Malley, again with Nilo Pacinta setting the pace. 5 thumbs up so far on Facebook. We appreciate that. Help us out on Twitter in that regard. If you haven't done so already, you see scrolling down there below our social sites. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at Horse Race, the number 2 a day. I don't think we've done anything on Threads yet, so I'll have Sean set one up on Threads. And then, of course, while you're here on YouTube at Horse Racing Radar TV, hit the like button, hit the bell, and make sure you share our videos. If you like something you see, share your videos with your friends. Go ahead and post them on your websites. Link to them in your comments on Facebook, Twitter, wherever you want to go. You have our permission to go ahead and take that information and share it. We won't be mad at you at all, Terry.
That's right.
In race number 9, for me, Wicked Sights does have that 12-point or total pace edge over the rest of the field. Did tie for the top last race speed figure last time out, and that was a crushing maiden win. Number 2, Girl Trouble, is the lone EP horse. Back to Parx, where she has 3 wins, a second and a third in 5 races. One thing, though, it's interesting to me, this one's turning around in a week, Terry. That's a pretty quick turnaround, but more often than not, the trainer thinks the horse is ready to run again. Number 10, Worst Behavior, coming off the maiden win at Parx after track dropping in from Woodbine, coming down from Canada. Does have a good work between races as well. And then finally, number 9, Celtic Tiger, was a tough call for me over that 8-horse Avatal Hero. I expect the 9-horse, though, to show some improvement. Second start after a layoff. I went with the 2 versatile horses, the 2 and the 6, the ones we saw here that are different than everybody else, in a double with the 1 and 6 in race number 10. So a little bit of foreshadowing for the nightcap today at Parx in race number 10. Terry, take us through the particulars.
All right. So this is a mile and 70 yards for maiden. It's a maiden claiming 10,000. And its purse is 20,000. It's for maidens, 3-year-olds and upward.
Indeed. So this is the bottom. I don't want to say bottom of the barrel, but one of the lowest levels. So one of those races where anything can go. And of course, I put 2 horses in there only, Terry. And one I should hit the all button on. But at a mile and 70 yards, you do want some early speed. And most of the time, if you look through the past performances, you will find horses when they break their maiden, they're usually pretty close to the front, if not going wire to wire. So I put a little bit of emphasis, I think, on speed here. The rail bonus again. So Take Me to the Moon could have an edge on the rail there. 2 through 7 play fair. 8 and out, get a penalty. Take Me to the Moon. Terry, is that like a Frank Sinatra song or something like that?
It does, yeah. It really does. So
but Take Me to the Moon does score pretty well in terms of simulated odds. After that, good C-zone score. What else do you see in the data?
Well, I see that the 8 has the best speed in here. So even though it's got a penalty for that, as you said, might just get out there and get all the way. As far as the overlays go, as you said, the 1 has a pretty nice overlay. It's supposed to be like, what is that, 6 or 7 to 5? Simulated odds, 5 to 1 in the morning line. The 2 is close to 8 to 1 simulated odds, and it's 10 to 1 in the morning line. And then that 9-horse, it's about double odds, but 9 to 2, and it's listed at 8 to 1. 7 out of these 11 starters have good C-zones. The best one would be the 9.
Yeah, indeed. Stormy Fire going to try to storm home for the lead and the win in the last race. And Stormy Fire, with that strong C-zone score, Terry, is a loanee, although, again, maiden claiming 10,000, so they might mix things up a lot. But the first thing you notice is the 9 and the 6. They stand up to the left. Everybody else to the right. The 2, 7, 8, and 10, that quartet so far, not within 5 lengths of the leader at the finish line. So maybe you can put an X through some of those. 1, 3, 4, 5, 11. They want to come off the pace. So let's see if either the 9 or the 6 is going to be towards the front. No, it would be that 8-horse, that never close type, Mr. Lobain. It actually has some decent late legs too. So that might be your pace setter in there, Terry. The late speed does belong to the 6-horse, the pressure horse, Disturbed. So if it can be close to the lead, can run them down at the end, should have some company from Frugal Jude. And then at the end, in terms of our total pace, you do have 3, Mr. Lobain, Disturbed, and Take Me to the Moon, standing out above all of the rest. Wouldn't be shocked to see the 1, the 8, or the 6 win. Terry, I know I have the 1 on top and the 6 and the 8. All 3 of those start off our rank. In fact, we started like we ended like we started, with our 4 picks matching exactly.
That's right. And I guess they're getting ready to start that 3rd race at Parx, sir.
Yeah, they're actually off. So let's go ahead and pull up race number 3. We both like the 5-horse to get to the winner's circle today, although Mix Hips Don't Lie does have the lead. To the outside is indeed that 5-horse. Perfect Silent Cat. Down in between horses, you had that one's kind of fading a little bit, but it does look like the 1-horse, Sight Unseen, is in the mix there. You got the 3 down on the rail trying to pursue the 4-horse now R Mark Steven up between horses, moving aggressively through the pack. Looks like the 6 horse might be a little bit on the done side, but trying to make a little bit of a move there. Jockey's pretty much all out on that. I'm going to guess right now the 5 horse is going to probably be your winner at 3 to 5 because Michael Sanchez is standing straight up and down on that horse. Although the 2 horse really hasn't been asked for a whole lot. The 1 has moved its way into 3rd. The jockey so far just playing with the reins with Paco Lopez. Really hasn't asked the horse to run yet. Now he's getting on him with the whip. The 5 horse is indeed running away with this race, Terry, as I thought he might do. The 1 horse is in there. You got the 2 horses going to finish in 2nd. The question is anybody going to come in for 3rd? Doesn't look like it's going to happen. Looks like the favorite at 3 to 5, easy winner. Jockey hasn't asked for anything down the stretch. The 2 horse, then the 6, and then I'm not quite sure who finished in the 4th spot there. So it went 5, 2, and 6, Mr. Terry.
All right.
That's how and that 6 horse in there too. Oh, excuse me, 5, 2, and 1. So the 6 horse didn't stay in there. Oh, yeah. It was Paco. I was hoping the 6 horse got there at 32 to 1.
It would have been nice for you, huh?
Yeah. So 5, 2, 1. I'll take that. Yeah, the 6 horse I think rallied for 3rd or 4th between the 4 horse.
All right.
Yeah, no, the 6 horse. Yeah, they're all in the back. So 5, 2, and 1. Ice cold trifecta, Terry. I should have just bet it straight.
Yeah, you should have. Yeah. So, yeah, we got a couple of comments there we need to catch up on, I guess. The Christopher D'Souza. Let's see here. He says in race 9, he likes the number 7 win in place, and then he likes the 7-3 exact box, and then Nasima, I guess that's how you pronounce it. Says, hi, Rich and Terry. Hi, how you doing? In race 8, he likes the 5 to win. Race 9, he likes the 2 to win. So there you go.
So he likes Girl Trouble. I don't like Girl Trouble personally, Terry. Not the horse, but just in general. And in the 8th race, he likes Aaron's Enthusiasm. In race number 10, we went through Did you go through your picks, Terry?
Nope. I'm going to do that right now with Take Me to the Moon. Number 1 is my first pick. Drops in class today. The rail post winning at a 19% clip. Has a high percentage winning trainer whose horses win 36% of the starts when he's taking a horse from turf to dirt. And number 6, Disturbed, finished 3rd versus Tougher in his last race and drops in class today. This number 8 is my 3rd pick, finished 3rd versus Tougher in last race. Drops in class today, has a high percentage winning trainer whose horses win 27% of the races and routes. And the trainer in the last 14 days has won 13 out of 31 starts with 6 seconds and 4 thirds. Number 9, Stormy Fire is my long shot, drops in class today. His best start speed is fastest among today's starters, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. I'm out of money, so I cannot make any bets in this race.
Well, I have a bet in here, Terry, because I'm not out of money. At least I didn't think I was when I was doing the math. Take Me to the Moon, though, top of my ticket, just like you, down in class, 50-50. He improves in the second start off the layoff and catches the bonus rail. Number 6, Disturbed, tried to go forward for the first time last time out in its 9-race career and then faded at the end. And many times I have seen that horses that try a new running style, it doesn't really work out until the 2nd or 3rd go at it. So we'll see if indeed in race number 2, trying to be towards the front could pay off for Disturbed. Number 8, Mr. Lobain does have the top last race speed figure. Small drop in class for Jamie Ness. Only reason I didn't have this one ranked 2nd, it was curious to me that Ruben Silvera or Frankie Pennington was not on this horse. Number 8, maybe he thinks it's so good he doesn't have to put either one of them on there. I don't know. Number 9, it just seems to me that if he thought the horse was going to win, he would have Ruben on there or Frankie Pennington.
Yeah.
Do you think maybe I outthink myself on that sometimes?
Sometimes, yes.
And then finally, number 9, Stormy Fire, decent shot to be on the lead. Does have that top C zone score. Gets a weight break today with Sofia Vives. I'm going to do a try 168 over the 1-6 over the 1-4-6, 8 and 9. That is the final bet of the day, Terry. Here are our full picks for the day. The first 3 races are in the books. If I remember correctly, in race number 1, the 5 horse was your winner after the 3 horse got moved down. Race number 2, the 8 horse was your winner. In race number 3, the 5 horse is your winner, going 5, 2, and 1 in race number 3. And in race number 3, just to give you an idea what that trifecta paid, probably not a whole lot with the 3 to 5 winning. 50 cent trifecta paid $14.65. So I'll take that with a 3 to 5 shot on top, Terry.
That's all right. Yeah.
Good luck to you too, Cartel, today. We hope that you have a great day, and God bless you as well. God bless everybody who watches. We appreciate your time as always. Again, tonight, don't forget to join Sean and Julie at 8 p.m. Eastern. It'll be another fantastic show. Tomorrow, Terry and I will be back to do Horseshoe Indianapolis, although we will probably start a little bit earlier than usual. I have an afternoon engagement that I have to make. So keep an eye out on our social sites. Keep an eye if you hit the subscribe button. It'll let you know when we're going to go live. And then Thursday, Terry, I'm excited about Thursday. What's going on Thursday?
Saratoga. We're going to do that on, I think that's the opening day, is it not?
Yes, opening day at the spa with Terry and Rich. Looking for some big, I'd like to get back out there. I had a good time out there last year.
Yeah, and you can get some pretty good prices there because they send some of the best horses there to run. So.
Yeah, and all the jockeys and people that we talk to, that's the summer festival all of them want to go to. On Friday, Thomas and I will be back for Newmarket for Foreign Fridays. So I'm looking forward to getting back with Tom and see if we can find some winners in the UK on the grass. And Terry, I think that pretty much wraps it up for the rest of this day and this week in terms of what we're going to do. You have any final thoughts on this terrific Terry Tuesday upon my return?
Well, I just want everybody to stay cool. That heat's right across the nation from California all the way across. And I just want you to stay careful, cool, stay hydrated, and, give your loved ones a kiss and a hug and tell them how you feel, because you never know what's going to happen. And I hope everything else works out for you. So,
indeed. Well, we hope no matter what happens today that you certainly have the favor of God and God's blessings. And then no matter what you do, Terry, on this terrific Terry Trifecta Tuesday, can only end up in one place, my friend, and that has to be
the winner's circle.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us again today. Look forward to spending some more time again tomorrow. Have a fantastic Tuesday.